Hello and welcome to Math 1431 Pre-Calculus. I am your instructor, Christy Peterson. I'd like to go through a few things about the overview of the course and then specific information about how to get started and complete some of those first assignments to get you going. I've already opened up our Blackboard information and I'd like to go through some of that information with you now. One of the first bits of information is the syllabus. When you click on it, you'll see the PDF of our syllabus. The top of the PDF has information on how to get in contact with me with my office number, my office phone number, and email. I will keep office hours posted in Blackboard, but you can always email me and we can schedule a time to meet either in Zoom or in my office. Okay. Some of the information you're going to need for the course is a required website access for MyLab Math. We'll talk a lot more detail about that in a few minutes. The textbook for the course is called College Algebra 13th edition, and it has a handful of authors, Lau, Hornsby, Schneider, and Daniels, with a publishing date of 2021. You can use the online textbook, the e-textbook, through MyLab Math if you like. However, if you want a printed copy, you can purchase a textbook with a printed copy. Just make sure it includes the MyLab Math as part of the package so that you're not buying them separately. Okay. We will cover the first 7 chapters of the book. Okay. Keep in mind that this is an online class, so we don't have specific meeting times online through Zoom or in the classroom. Okay. To replace that missed class time, there are videos that go along with every section of your book. Okay. I will show you where to find those videos when we're back in the when we're back in Blackboard. Okay. The majority of this course is completed without a calculator. There's maybe 2 or 3 questions on a random assignment that is calculator friendly, just because I want you to experience that question. However, I would say 99% of our exams are no calculator. Okay. I would recommend that you check your email twice a week to see if there's any updates from me. I send emails both individually to each student and also as a class. Okay. This is a 5 credit hour course, so it's expected that you spend 10 to 15 hours every week on this course. That's going to help you achieve your highest success. Okay. Some basics about the course is that homework is 10% of your course grade. You're allowed a homework extension. Please give me an email and I will help you out with that. If you choose to not use your one-time homework extension, there is a penalty for 2% each day when a homework assignment is past due. Quizzes are a higher percentage. Quizzes are 20% of your course grade. Again, there's a penalty per day if you have a quiz that's turned in late. Your one lowest quiz grade will be dropped at the end of the semester, and you are also allowed a quiz extension if you need it. Okay. Exams are the biggest portion of your grade. The unit exams are 50% of your course grade, and there are 4 of them. You will complete homework and quizzes in MyLab Math. However, the unit exams are going to be a paper and pencil exam taken in the College of DuPage testing location. Late exams aren't permitted. Okay. If you miss an exam, then your score will start out as a 0. However, you can then use your final exam, your comprehensive final exam score to replace that 1 missed test. Any missed test over 1 would then count as 0. The final exam is comprehensive, meaning that it will be information covered throughout the entire semester, and it is 20% of your course grade. The next part of the syllabus is just a reminder about if you miss a homework, quiz, or test, what your options are. Okay. The incomplete grade policy is that they are at the instructor's discretion. And deadlines have been given so that you can stay on pace and finish within our semester by the end of the semester in December. The withdrawal policy is that 75% of the semester for fall 2025, that withdrawal policy is that you have to officially withdraw by Saturday, November 16th, 2025. No withdrawals will be given after that time. The course grade is graded without a curve. 10% of your homework average, 20% of your quiz average, 50% of your test average, and 20% of your final exam score. And that will encompass your entire course grade. You can see your course grades up to date at any moment in our MyLab Math website. I won't read through the academic honesty policy. However, a general overview says that everything that's been created or available to you is not to be uploaded to any sites. And if you're caught cheating, uploading information into websites or assisting another student or working off of another student, then we can discuss those matters at that time. Typically, it's an automatic 0 for that assignment, whether it's an assignment, a quiz, or a test. Access and accommodations information. If you have a letter of accommodation, please email it to me and I can work with you individually. Okay. At the end of the syllabus is the unit checklist about what sections to cover in each unit, and then also the general course objectives and topical outline for our course. Let me jump back into Blackboard. So in Blackboard, we've covered the syllabus. You'll also find the welcome letter that I'll be sending on the first day of the semester. The getting started list, I'm very much like do this first, do this second person to help me. So I've created a list like that. When you click on this, you'll have that information. Like first, read through the information in Blackboard. Second, you're going to register in MyLab Math. Third, you're ready to start that first assignment. So that's what that list is going to detail for you. What you're watching now is the orientation video. Okay. The next piece of information you're going to find when you click on the due dates is a due date for every section that are going to be covered throughout the semester. Okay. I've highlighted the quizzes and the unit tests just to make them stand out for you. Okay. Our website, textbook, and calculator information is just also repeated here and in your syllabus. Okay. Again, the textbook, printed textbook is optional because you can view the electronic book online through MyLab Math. When you click on the MyLab Math registration information, you'll see a PDF with step-by-step information on how to register on MyLab Math with the course code included. Okay. Remember that I said that we don't have specific times that we're going to meet as a class. If you click on this math content videos, you can find video links for each section of the course. Okay? And in those videos, I recommend that you take notes just as if you were in class, and I would recommend you take those notes before you engage with the homework. So I would recommend first watching the videos and taking notes, then close up the videos and open up your MyLab Math homework and get started there. Okay. Information on homework. Very specific information on, again, it's 10% of your grade. Where to go to find homework is the MyLab Math Pearson website. And then I give a little bit more information about what to do, steps along the way. In just a minute, I'm going to go to our MyLab Math website and I'm going to go through that information with you. Quizzes are very similar. The difference in homework and quizzes is homework you can complete question by question. If you're maybe on question 4 of the homework and you need to take a break, then you can exit out of the homework, and then when you go back into the homework, you can be on question 5. Quizzes need to complete the entire quiz in one sitting. So you wouldn't want to stop on question 4, you would go all the way to the end of the quiz assignment. Okay. Chapter 7 is on sequences and series, and there is a formula sheet available. So I would recommend printing that formula sheet. You're going to cover Chapter 1 and Chapter 7 in the first unit, and you can use that as you're completing your homework and your quizzes. And I will give you a fresh, clean copy of that formula sheet when you go in to take that first unit test, as well as when you take the cumulative final exam. Looking at the testing information, our tests are taken in the College of DuPage testing centers. You can click on the testing locations, and I have a link for you to go right to where the testing information is available to see their hours of operation and the different locations. Okay. Test information, again, a repeat is that the tests are the biggest percentage of your grade at 50%. And that you are going to take them on paper and pencil. And then I give another link to that formula sheet just so it's easy to find. Okay. The final exam is cumulative and 20% of your course grade. Okay. The last bit of information that you'll see in the Blackboard site is information on math assistance area. The information on the math assistance area tells you about, other than getting help from me, it's another location that you can get help in our pre-calculus course. Now that we've covered the basics of what you're going to find in Blackboard, let's jump right into MyLab Math. So again, you're going to go to that MyLab Math Pearson website, and you're going to be at our course home. What you're going to want to look at is our assignments. So over on the left side, look at the assignment list. And you're going to see date by date what assignments are due. The first assignment due is the course information quiz. And that course information quiz gets unlimited attempts. It's the only quiz that you get unlimited attempts. Other quizzes, you're allowed 2 attempts. And the better of the 2 attempts is the one that is counted towards your grade. You'll see both quiz grades in your grade book. However, only the best quiz grade is what's counted. So you can click on each of these assignments. Notice that it highlights a hyperlink. When I click on the homework, it's going to open that 1.6 homework that you're going to start with, and you can start with the first question. Within the homework assignments is where you can find some of the textbook information. So here in the textbook information, you can view an example or get more help. It's in this Get More Help section that you can check out your textbook or send me an email directly as just another avenue of sending me an email. So if I click on textbook, it's going to open up the textbook right to section 1.6. I'm going to show you the textbook in just a minute. I'd like to go through some of the other features available right here within your homework. If I click on view an example, it's going to give me an example that's different than the one of the homework. And then I'm going to go through, and it's going to step me through how to complete that question. And then when I finish that, it's going to give me a new question to try on my own. It's going to be similar, but it will be different values, but very similar to the example provided. Help Me Solve This will help you solve this exact question, but then at the end of helping you solve it, it's going to step you through and kind of ask you to fill in some information along the way. Okay? Proposed solutions are solutions where, in this case, we're looking where a variable can't possibly be a solution because the denominator would equal 0. And then you can check your answer, and it's going to keep going and lead you through a guided solution for this one example. When you finish, it's going to give you a new question to try. Okay, so those are information that you can do to get help. I recommend the videos first and only using these help buttons if you absolutely need to. Okay, now let's talk about, I'm going to go back to where we were looking at assignments. Now let's talk about some other features that you have. Click on the e-textbook contents. It's going to take a second to load, but what you're going to find with the e-textbook contents, there we go, is you're going to open my textbook. So when you click on this, open my e-textbook, again, it's going to take a second to load and open your textbook, and you're going to see this page. Okay, and so we're going to open the e-textbook. Okay, and then when you open that e-textbook, you're going to look at the cover page of your textbook. From there, you can go to any section. We start on section 1.6. And so you can just scan through, and I'm trying to show it here so that you can see on the bottom here, you can just go through page by page of your textbook. Okay. Within the textbook, you'll sometimes see you try it's, so for things that you do to try, and sometimes you'll also run into a video icon. And then you can watch a video as another example. So just another way to get some of the content you need in the course other than the optional videos that I showed you earlier. So lots of ways to get help. I would love to be your first resource, but other ways to get help if your schedule and my schedule don't align. Okay. I'm going to head back to our main area for assignments and just let you know where the quizzes are located. The quizzes are going to be similar. However, instead of having unlimited attempts like a homework, you would then have only 2 attempts for a quiz. I put in here the last day to take unit test 1, also the same with unit test 2, just as a reminder, and then you can see the due date over here is September 13th for that first quiz. Okay, or excuse me, that first unit exam. You can always take and complete assignments, quizzes, or tests early if you choose. Let me go back into that first homework assignment and show you the last thing we're going to discuss here is how to get unlimited attempts on a homework assignment. So when I was in that first homework assignment, okay, I got that question correct. What if I didn't get it correct? So let me purposely get something wrong, and I'm going to type in 17. I know the answer would be 3 and -2 would make our denominator 0, so they're not possible. Let me check that answer, and it's going to give me tell me it doesn't work, and then it'll give me another chance. I'm going to get it wrong again. And then it's going to give me a final check, a third and final option. So I'm just going to get it wrong a third time. And you're going to notice that I got it wrong, and I'm going to get a red X over here. If I go back to that question, okay, it'll tell me what I answered and also what the correct answer was. I hovered over that and clicked on it. However, I can come down here and click on a similar question. It's going to give me a similar question with 3 new attempts. The values that would make X create our undefined or make our denominator 0 would be 1 and -2. So now I'm going to go ahead and get those right. It does say in the description down here to separate them by a comma. And when I check my answer and I get it right, notice that that turns into a green check mark and it automatically counts as correct. So you can use that feature of giving you a similar problem as many times as you like for extra practice or just until you want to get that green check mark. So I hope that you keep going to try to get 100% on each homework assignment. Okay, I'm going to head back here to our original page. And if you have any questions, remember that you can always send me an email. Okay, you can find my information here and also within our syllabus. So send me an email, give me a phone call to my office, and we can schedule a time to meet. I look forward to working with you this semester.